All right, you guys, we're live. Or Jollibee is live. Getting things set up in the background here. Into BG. Got things set up here in the BG. Let's see, I'm trying to figure out where my things are. Okay, I think I just launched the forum link, the invite link. Got to go to my phone, set everything up, make sure the notifications went out. Yup, looks like I've been notified. Let me pin my comment. Yes, folks, they don't call me Low Tech Dan for nothing. Please don't forget to hit that like button and notification bell for all the other stuff. Pin message. Welcome, 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 everyone. Let me see if I can get my camera going. Oh, I surprised myself. There I am. We're live. Coming from high atop. What building are we in? Anyway, it doesn't matter. The 17th floor of a high rise in downtown Cebu. I would say we're about half a block or a block away, maybe 2 blocks away from, I would say from Osmina Circle, Fuente Osmina Footbridge, I guess you'd call it, and the circle, the monument. And we've been having a good time here. Today's topic is kind of interesting. It is you can't say "hey" in the Philippines. Oh, listen, listen. We're just talking. We're just chatting. I'm not trying to insult anybody here today. I see we got everybody in the house. Loris Jose, the Philippines' most eligible bachelorette and socialite, is in the house. And number one today, we have Anna May. Larry's here. Anna May Reyes is in the house, folks. And who else do we have here? Who else? Who else? Who else? Who else? Jack's Vibes checked in. Resurrection of Larice checked in. Just going through here to see who all's present. If I call your name, say, present, Menge is here. Say present, please. Class is about to begin. I've got Ma'am Minnie in the house. Yeah, I should talk a little bit about Crystal's adventure is online here. Present. Hey, you guys. Oh, I see Larry in the wanting to come up to say, hey, Larry, what do you say? What's up today?
Oh, just another good day off. Just not doing much. Did my errands. Went to the gym. Did some walking on the treadmill. And
It's you and me is in the house too.
well,
Thanks for coming to the live stream. I really appreciate it. A wonderful supporter, consider a good friend. And as a matter of fact, everyone in this chat is a great friend to me. Um, what are we doing today? Oh yeah, before we get started, I just wanted to say that you guys hang in there because somebody here is going to win 100 pesos so they could partake in the evilness of the coffee and the donut. And I'm not going to tell you have to go to Dunkin' Donuts once I send you this in the Gcash. I'm just saying you can buy Panda Sol if you'd like, Crystal. But I was a little bit, what do they call it? You know, bougie coffee shortage this morning, so I had to run down. I was desperate, and Ma'am Minnie and I had to hit the 7-Eleven, which is downstairs, Let me talk a little bit. I want to talk about the place that we're staying a little bit because it kind of was portrayed a little bit differently than the way it turned out. So when you go into Airbnb, you should expect that they're gonna do their best to show you the best pictures they got of the place. That you're going to be temporarily renting. So, of course, the thing looks fabulous in the pictures and everything like that. And then we get here and we get checked in, no problem whatsoever. The host wasn't here. The host actually left the instructions and everything where they were easily accessible. So all this man Minnie had to do was just go over to the mail room, grab the paperwork, and grab the keys and the key card, and then make our way up to the 17th floor. I guess we're overlooking. I guess I'm overlooking the Lapu Lapu Bridge. No, maybe it's the Mactan Bridge, the new one. And so anyway, yeah. So we have a nice view of the city of Cebu. I can't complain about that. But the actual studio apartment, and I found out later that this is pretty much standard size. Uh, I should have paid more attention to it, but 22 or 20 square feet, I'm sorry, meters is only about 100 square feet or less, probably closer to 75. So if you're a person, so now I understand all this, and it's a studio apartment. I mean, it has everything in it. Has a cow, a sofa bed. It has a bed. It has a day resting area. It's got a desk to do some work. Got a kitchen. It's got a full kitchen, as a matter of fact, full refrigerator, not a little apartment size one. Well, we would call it apartment size one if you're in the States, right? But this is a sizable refrigerator, and it's also there's an oven and a small bathroom where it's a separate shower and everything, but no gun, which bummed me out. No bum gun bummed me out because I refuse to use TP. So that
Not
means by
now.
yeah, by the time I get back to bye bye, I'll probably be constipated. Well, anyway, we won't go there. But here's the whole thing. You gotta have a bum gun, but I kind of understand why. So they, since it's a rental, right? They're going to minimize anything that can go wrong inside the rental. That's what they're going to try and do. They're going to minimize uh, having to do maintenance as much as possible. And I understand that because it's all about profit. It's all about the Benjamins. So I'm being long-winded. Let me take a breath. Let me take a sip of coffee here. Are you drinking water today, Larry, by chance? Good for you, brother.
It's even got a little vinegar apple cider in it.
Mm. Listen, I want to thank everybody who shared out the upcoming live stream. I really appreciate it. And I also appreciate how you guys have been pumping up my numbers. They're looking really, really good. Especially the watch hours are just like going skyrocket. You are the one, you people that are in the stream, you're responsible for driving up them watch hours. I really, really appreciate it. So anyway, what's the rest of the story about this condo unit? Okay, so it was advertised as being a newer condo project and a newer condominium, and I think that's probably 10 years ago or so because this place desperately needs to be refreshed. Anyway, it's no problem on Airbnb. I'm not going to go in there, and I'm not going to. I don't leave negative reviews. As a matter of fact, I don't review at all on Airbnb, nor do I do it on any other website. So that's to keep myself out of trouble. If you review, and then somebody else rents the place and they see it differently than you do, you're
Then
kind
they
of like,
blame you. Yeah.
yeah, they're going to blame you. And so I just forget about all that. I like the whole social media thing, how you could share information and stuff, but not that kind of information. It certainly isn't a type of review that I would do for this place where I would say don't rent it. I wouldn't tell anybody not to rent it. But I understand the size thing. So I started looking around. That's what I started talking about. I started looking around and found out that the average condominium size, if it's a studio apartment and you want to be in a high-rise building, is going to be 100 square feet or less. The reason makes sense to me. You know, the Filipinos, they live life outdoors. They don't live life indoors. And so you're basically coming home to do, I mean, if you had to work out of 100 square feet, I might be hard pressed. If I were like working at home and doing virtual internet stuff. Otherwise, I don't see a problem in being able to live in 100 square feet. But if you're spending maybe even 50% of your time inside and 50% outdoors, then I most likely would be challenged to live in 100 square feet.
Now, Dad,
So
I got a question for you, real quick.
yeah, yeah,
Do you have a balcony?
no balcony, so it doesn't even have additional room where you can, and you
Well,
can't contemplate jumping off of it either because there's no balcony. There's not even a window that opens, my friend.
I got a patio. I like a balcony or a patio when I live somewhere, or a porch.
That's true.
As you have home, because you can
That's
sit
true.
outside and enjoy the weather and still be at home.
Yeah, yeah. The only thing I don't like about the way they do the patios and balconies in the States is the way they they make them so high and they close them off, compartmentalize them, and then you go out to your, you go out to your patio area, you get the fresh air, but you don't get the view. You can't sit there and look at what's going on. The
Well,
last apartment that Minnie and I had, that's the way it was built. It was built so that the walls were so high, I could barely peek my head over the top to see what life was going on outside the door. LV Rose is here. Hi, LV.
hey, LV, how you doing?
Here, and Mike is here. Mike, how's it going? Mike, oh, the reason why, Mike, I answered your email. The reason why I said go watch that guy's channel was because he built. If I were to go build a house, and have a do over, no, I got to tell you, the house that we built was right for the area that we built it in, the subdivision that we built it in. But if I were going a little bit further out into the country, the way that I would build my house is the way that that guy built his house in that channel, and that's why I sent you that email, so that you could get a feel about what it's like to build a. It's better than a typical provincial house, that's for sure. I mean, you would think the way the guy built this house that he was an engineer or something like that, but it was basically a combination of the way that you wanted to build your house. How he used timbers to do the supports. I would have used concrete. I gotta be honest. Even if I were gonna use support beams and have an elevated structure, I still would have used concrete for the support beams. But I think he used timbers, and that's okay, because he used the kerosene or whatever that stuff is called to make sure the termites wouldn't eat it up. And then on the inside and out parts of the outside, he used hardy plank, more of it, and then he used steel studs, more of a traditional way that we would build a house in the U.S. of A. And I believe he insulated it also. And so Tim is here. Tim's in the house. So I mean, that's why I said it, because if I were to do it over again, that's the way that I would do it. Of course, I wouldn't have fooled around with the roof structure at all. That would have been all tied in the way we do it here in the States with hurricane ties and the whole thing. Mm. Yeah, that's our. You know what? And we were there. I wasn't even thinking about it. I can only do. You know what, Tim? Here's the kind of guy that I am, right? If I have a short list of stuff to do, let me show you a short list. See, so well, it's kind of a long list. But if I if I have a short list of stuff to do, I tick it off one by one on my list because that's just the way that I have become moderately successful in life. And so when we were at immigration over there at Galleria Mall, Robinson's Galleria, up there on the third floor, I think it is. By the way, oh, I should say, I know I'm going all over the place, but that's okay. That's okay. It's kind of a pain in the ass, but it's also entertaining. So we ran into. I can't even. I can't even name the YouTubers that we saw because they're so famous, and they were all there at immigration getting their visa extensions. Let me tell you, I was starstruck. Dan was starstruck, sitting there watching. I tried not to stare, right? I could see that a couple of them were like, "Hey, that bro over there staring at us. That bro over there staring at us." But anyway, I realized I got starstruck. So we were sitting there at immigration, and then it seemed like every couple of minutes, right here was coming another YouTuber, another YouTuber, right? And I was just sitting there, my mouth was hanging open, going, hun, you know who that is, right? Hun, you know that couple, right? Hun. Every couple of minutes, I finally just gave up. I just spent all day with my head on a swivel, saying, look who all's going by." I mean, these were YouTube superstars that have huge channels, 200K plus in subscriberships. I didn't want to go up to them and say, "Hey, uh, I'm Dan. I got 2,500 subscribers, and I'm a YouTuber and bye bye City Late." Anyway, I was back to what I was doing there. So we were there. We're doing one thing at a time. So we were there so that Minnie, we can get all the information that we needed for her to apply for her to retain, or not retain, but reobtain, I guess it is, her Filipino citizenship. And so we got all the information. And they were very, very nice there, even though it took a while to get up to the information desk. We got all the information, all the forms we needed to fill out, and they were nice enough to tell us that if we do the visa there, I mean, if we do the paperwork there, it's going to take 6 months to a year for turnaround time in order for Ma'am Minnie's visa, or I mean her citizenship, to be restored. But if we go to Manila, yay! Because I'm always looking for a reason to return back to Manila. If we go to Manila, then it only takes 15-day turnaround. I would say that's a pretty good reason to have to return back to Manila, because we're going to have to do the paperwork and turn in everything and wait for the 15-day turnaround, right? Don't you think? Don't you think that's a good reason, Larry?
Sounds like a good reason to me. Vacation
Yeah.
time.
Okay, so we tick that off our list. And then now the next visit will be for the retirement visa. And still, I don't know if I want to go that way, because I could leave as long as I leave the country once a year. I don't have to do anything for anybody. And
No,
for
you
sure,
don't.
we're going to be doing that. I mean,
Well,
go ahead, Larry.
I was going to say, don't do the retirement visa until you decide you don't want to leave once a year.
That's a good suggestion. So I started thinking about that. I started thinking about, hey, why do I want to put myself through all this paperwork and everything right now?
I
To
know.
do the visa. Yeah, when we leave, I mean, once a year, heck, man, Minnie and I, we take a trip once every 6 months. We leave the country. So I mean, for crying out loud. But someone did say we could end up in a situation, a sticky wicket, where the airliner refuses to board us because we haven't made a drop off in the last year in the United States. They want to see a U.S. entry stamp. So I've thought about this. It's difficult to go. It's difficult to go from Manila to Guam and touch base on U.S. soil for a day and then come back, because it's very expensive. I mean, if you're going to buy a ticket to Guam, you might as well buy a ticket back to the U.S. of A. The other problem is that the airliner only travels to Guam, Philippine Airlines anyway, 3 days a week, right? So why would you want to have to wait? I mean, and then they have I don't think it's a direct flight. See what the dilemma is here? It's better to go to another country like Taipei, Taiwan, and then take the plane over to Guam. It's quicker. I mean, it sounds really bizarre. But for the folks, oh, it reminds me of something. Mike, are you in there? Hey,
Yeah, he says he thought you could extend the tourist visa 2 or 3 years as a Balaban. But
Yeah,
actually,
yeah.
Joe, hey
You don't
Joe,
have to extend it. You don't. You do. You extend it once per year. The Balikbayan.
by going out, but the regular tourist visa, by if you're not married to a Filipina, you can stay for 3 years without leaving the country.
That's right. And
You
same
have to
with
extend every
Balikbayan.
couple of months, but you can, uh,
Balikbayan, you go once per year and
and
let
it's
them know
free.
where you're at. And then
And
at 3, you have to leave the country and come back. But what I'm talking about, Mike, is if you didn't know this and you're married to a Filipina, um, once per year, you don't need police clearance. You don't need anything if you're on Balikbayan privilege. Just wait that 1 year, right before the 1 year. It could be 1 year up to a day, right? And then you just leave the country, and then then you come back, and you start all over again. If you go past that 1 year, you have to get police clearance, and all you have to pay a fee for that and all that other stuff. It's a miserable experience, and so it's better to leave the country after 1 year, come back, and then the Balik Bayan starts over again. The clock starts over again. Now, we just did that on our trip back from Thailand, right? We were in Thailand.
that was in
So,
January.
yeah, and so they stamped it. They allowed it, and it was hassle-free entry. I mean, it was hassle-free. They all they did was ask my wife one question: "Are you married to this man?" And she goes, "Yes," unfortunately. And then
She's
they
got that
stamped
American
it.
sense of humor now.
Yeah, but see, here's the other thing. They also saw the prior Balik Bayan stamp in the passport.
Yeah.
And of course, that's the signal. Once they start seeing those stamps, they go, oh, yeah, he's Balik Bayan. And so moving forward, we should not have any problem whatsoever.
I
No,
will tell you.
here's what I heard. Tim, listen, I want to answer Tim's question real quick.
Go ahead.
Tim, it's Philippine Airlines. Some jealous female clerks on the other side of the when you check in, they're the ones giving people a hassle, for flying. From what I understand, they're saying, "Oh, well, aren't you something, traveling all over the place and then coming back to the Philippines without going home?" Oh, one question they did ask Man Mini on the citizenship thing is, do you plan on spending more time in the Philippines than you do the US of A? And the answer is yes. It's a simple answer.
Yeah.
Anyway, I want to avoid all this crap, all this paperwork for the time being. So I think the best thing for us to do is go home once a year for a few days. Go back to the States, drop off, say hello to mom and everybody, and then turn around and fly back. 10-day turnaround.
But
So it
you know what you can do? What you
doesn't
can
cost.
do if you're going to do that,
Yeah.
there's certain stuff that you can save a lot of money on by buying it in the States and shipping it to yourself. Every time you go home, buy some stuff and ship it back
Mm-hmm.
to whichever address you want.
Yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. That's what the plan. Tox is here. Hi, Tox.
Hey,
Sorry if
Todd.
I missed anyone. I haven't been looking at the chat. I've been messing around, having fun. So anyway, back to the apartment. All right. So that's the dilemma. If you want to live in the city, the dilemma in living in the city is expensive apartments, fully furnished, and then it would have looked bigger had they not tried to cram so much stuff in here. That would be the other suggestion I have for the place that we're renting. So I'm not telling you where we're at. You guys probably can guess. You can probably guess because of my live stream. I showed the building in the background, and that turned out to be the place that we were staying. So from where we did that live stream, it was only a 7-minute walk. So did I not? It's interesting. I just guessed. I didn't know exactly where everything was. I just guessed, and it put us exactly in the part of town that we needed to be, where everything that we needed to access was available. And so I hit it. I hit everything. On all 8 cylinders. Everything worked out. Oh, by the way, you see this shadow? I just noticed this shadow. That's because I have a lamp sitting down beneath me, and every time I move my hand, it forms a shadow across my face.
Okay,
So
that's what I'll do.
yeah, it's in the wrong place. I didn't have enough time to set up a light diffuser and all that other stuff. Anyway, and I woke up with a slight headache from the good times that Man Minnie and I had last night. We were out in the town and we went down. For those of you that may or may not know it, you probably know it. It's called there used to be a bar down here. It was sort of like a neighborhood bar called El Gecko, and you'll see it
Really.
on yeah, you'll see it on some people's streams, right? You'll see like
Chris used
Marco,
to go by that one.
yeah, Overstay Road. A lot of people do vlogs from there. So I was telling them, I mean, I'm looking on my GPS and it shows that we're only a couple of blocks away from El Gecko. So now you know the neighborhood I'm in case you guys want to run into me by accident. So we went down there and the club has changed hands or changed names. And it was packed. And it was packed at something like 8 p.m. or, man, Minnie, what time did we go in there? 8 o'clock or 8:30? Something like that. We were early in there and the place was packed with the locals and it was fun. It was fun to see everybody hang around having a good time. And the last time we were in El Gecko, there was hardly no one in there. There was no one in there and there was a fight going on between two lovebirds. You know, you don't love me anymore and blah, 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 blah. And I saw you talking to that girl and blah, 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 blah. All that drama was going on in there the last time we were there. So when we went in, I said, "Hey, what happened to El Gecko?" "Oh, it changed hands, you know." I don't know what the name of the place is now, but I wasn't paying attention. But it's a good atmosphere in there. If you're ever in this part of town near Mango Square, you want to go over to the former El Gecko. It's a very homey, village people kind of place. Somebody in here, if you hang with me, is going to be selected. I'm going to send 100 pesos to your GCash so that you also listen. I should not keep the nice life that I'm having to myself, but you'll be able to go down to the 100 pesos will be for you to be able to go down there and have a donut and a cup of coffee, and hopefully you will make a video out of it and then post it online. See how I am? There's strings attached to that 100 peso deal.
Dan, I almost got myself a ice caramel frappuccino from the competition.
Oh, you
Starbucks. No, I didn't do it. I thought real seriously about it. But I didn't do it.
You spoil yourself, Larry.
I
You
was
spoil
walking.
it. Daisy Lynn's here. Hi, Daisy Lynn.
Hey, Daisy.
Sam is here. Sam.
Yeah.
Sam collects gloves. Got any gloves? Sam Coker's here. Hey, there used to be a tire. In fact, they're still in business. But if I'm not mistaken, in Tennessee, there's a place. It is called Coker Tire Company, and they sell antique tires. So Tim had sent me some photographs. Apparently, there's a Facebook page that specializes in antique photos. And Tim, I am loving it. Thanks so much for sending me that link. And so in there, you're going to find pictures of the old Dunkin' Donuts in Quincy, Mass. And I keep telling people that Quincy, Mass, Dunkin' Donuts, not too far from Randolph. I don't know if you guys know that part of Massachusetts, but that is the training center for Dunkin' Donuts. So it was the old store, and then they attached the Dunkin' Donuts training center, and that's where I got my graduate degree from DDU, Dunkin' Donuts University, in donut making science. And so that was one of my, I think that was one of the second degrees that I ever earned was a degree in donut making from DDU. And believe it or not, all these years later, I have that degree packed away somewhere. One day I'm going to run into it when I unpack a box. One day it's going to be there. But anyway.
And hang it up with pride.
Yeah.
Hang it up on your wall with pride.
It's fun. It brought back so many memories, you know. So Uh, I believe I'm not sure. I'm not positive, but I believe that still. I know the headquarters. I know the headquarters of Dunkin' Donuts moved somewhere to Randolph. I think they're in Braintree, Mass, or they're in Randolph, Mass. But it sure brought back memories. I still have. By the way, the only picture that I had of those times, I actually. So when I was moving, I got to tell this quick story. When I was moving, and we were getting ready to move over to the Philippines, I ran into a couple pictures that showed uh, my original mentor in one of the training donut shops, one of the training stores when I was put out in the wild, and they say this guy Vern is gonna turn you into a number one donut shop manager and baker, and I was so happy, right, with the guy named Vern. So I ran into a couple of photographs of Vern, none with me in it, interesting enough, but with his original staff. And Vern became uber successful in his career. He ended up becoming a vice president of Dunkin' Donuts, and then later, went into giving talks, and he got representation. Once he was done with his Dunkin' Donuts career, he ended up being a well sought out executive speaker, motivational speaker. And I could understand it because Vern was quite the positive, forward thinking guy when he was training me, and that's why he ended up becoming a trainer and vice president. He was saying it's your connections, it's your networking that is the key to becoming success. And so what I did with those pictures is, long story short, because I could be long winded, I took those pictures and I found out where Vern was living these days, and I mailed it to him in the mail with no return address. That way he wouldn't know until I'm announcing it right now that I'm the guy that sent the picture to him. Anyway, listen, it brings tears to my eye. I did that with just about every old picture that I had, pictures that were 30 and 40 years old from high school days that weren't pictures of me. There were pictures of people I went to high school with and teachers and the like. And if I was able to track them down, I mailed the pictures to them in the mail. But I put no return address. I did it anonymously. And so, but people, if they thought about it, they would know, they would remember, oh yeah, I remember who took that picture way back when, back in 1969.
That was junior high for you.
That's right. As a matter of fact, I cried because there was one of my algebra teachers, or no, my Spanish teacher, who had passed away. But I ran into the eulogy that was posted online. She was a civil rights activist, and her daughter has since become an activist also, and also a very well known author and professor in a prestigious university. And what was very very nice is when I tracked all this down, I was like, dang, um, I have a photograph of her. I remember the very day that I took that picture in junior high school, and how she was like taken aback and very flattered, but very conscientious of what her good side was facing the photo.
There you go. That's what you call considerate.
uh, yeah. And anyway, she she was flattered by me taking the picture, and I said, what better thing to do than to send this picture off to her daughter, who had recently eulogized her upon her death. But anyway, it brings tears to my eyes thinking about it. But that's the way it goes. All right, all right, all right. Let me put all this stuff aside. So, uh, the apartment. So if you're gonna live in the big city, right? You're gonna be talking about this apartment. You want to rent an apartment. 100 square feet, for most Westerners, I don't think it's going to cut it. I just got to tell you.
For a short term stay, yes.
For a short term, it's fine. It's just like being in a hotel room.
Yeah.
But for day to
Short term.
day living, yeah. Uh, for
Well,
Filipinos, I could understand how the rich Filipino families can live in this space because life is lived outside, folks. If, if you want to be Filipino, start living your life outside. If you want to become Filipino, start living your life outside,
Uh,
and you'll
Dan,
love it. Yeah,
during the winter, no, not here where I'm at. No.
I'm Sam. Yeah, you can't practice. Yeah, you can't practice this if you're in the snow. No. Yeah, we don't
No,
want to send a Saint Bernard coming looking for you, Larry. No.
no. That's why.
Yeah.
That's why I joined the gym. I joined because when the weather's bad, I want to still be able to walk.
Hey,
And
Nicole is in the house. Nicole,
hey,
thanks for coming.
but
Nicole
I
is
want to be
here.
able to walk, so I joined that gym. It's
Yeah,
called uh,
yeah.
Planet Fitness. They say no judgment zone, and there are a lot of people in there overweight, like myself or more. Some there actually there's one or two in there bigger than I am. Which, if you saw my video that just came
Jack's
out
Vibe
today,
stopped by to say hello. Go ahead, Larry. I'm sorry for interrupting. I just get excited when I see people here.
but
Jack's
anyway,
Vibe here. Oh, if you haven't been in Jack's Vibe, I'm going to tell you something. I try and go in there these days as often as I can. I just love the way Jack's Vibes um, runs her channel. I just love it. You guys need to go in there and see. It is so professional. She's so professional, and also it's the way that she invites guest singers and things like that, and she sings. And I mean, you're like Jax. If you're not already, I mean, in my mind's eye, you're already a YouTube superstar. So I just wanted to thank you so much for your time. Go ahead, Larry. Finish that. Finish that thought.
well, like I said, that's why I joined the gym. I mean, because during the winter, if it's cold, I'm not or snowing, I'm not walking out. I'm not. I'm going to keep with the gym through the summer months because if
Right.
it's too hot or raining, a place to go. Uh, but like I said, I don't know if you saw the video. It was this short. I put out last night at midnight our time, which had been noon your time today. I put out a video where I went in and weighed myself and showed what I weighed and how I was dressed. I told him that was your challenge that got me started. I said,
Wow. Well, you know,
that's why I did the video because I was trying to do some of this on my own.
you have guessed that I've fallen off the wagon, right, Larry,
Oh yeah,
already?
oh yeah,
Yeah, because when you're traveling, so the first day, the first 2 days, I should say, everything's fine because I was really watching, I was watching my diet and things like that, staying away from the rice and things like that. But guess what? I walked by that Pizza Hut during that live stream, and that's like a magnet for me, you know. I mean, you
I love
can't
pizza. I love pizza.
yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm just going right in there, right? Oh, I have to test it out to see what it's like, you know?
You got to see
So
if
I
it's as
mean,
good as back home.
it at least, well, I found out that so far, I don't know if Mammy is going to agree with me, but so far, the best pizza that we've had, because I've had a couple of them by now,
Yeah.
because downstairs around the corner is, believe it or not, a Domino's Pizza.
Okay.
So we went in there last night after having a couple of brewskis at the old El Gecko, and we went in there. Of course, you're gonna get the munchies. You're gonna get hungry,
Oh yeah.
and so we went in there. We got a small pepperoni pizza, a couple of slices, a 10-inch,
Yeah.
and it was delicious. And by far, the best pizza that we've had so far has actually come out of Domino's Pizza. And so now I woke up this morning and I just knew that I have to reset everything. Leonard's in the house, by the way. Leonard London's here. I had to reset myself. And so today's the day. So I haven't had anything to eat this morning. Of course it's early. And after the live, Mammy, you'll probably head down to the McDo, but they have a scrambled egg sausage platter, which is safe because that's going to be low carb, and so I'll have that for breakfast, along with a couple of more cups of coffee. And you know, the Dunkin' is right across the street from that, And so I probably need to stay away. I'm going to be going into the Dunkin' over there at Puente Osmina Circle, but it won't be probably today because I'm trying to stay out of there so that the Bavarian cream donuts don't start calling my name. Dan, come here.
Well,
Dan,
Dan,
come here. Eat me, Dan. Eat me, Dan.
Dan, I'm going to be honest with you. I cheated yesterday. I had pizza for supper.
Yeah.
I went to my favorite grocery store, which I've done the video on, and that's all I went in for was because I was running late. It was at around 6:30 already at night. It was like, well, I don't feel like cooking. I went in, I looked, and that was the best thing that I could see that appealed to me. So I'm not going to give up carbs completely. I'm going to cut back because, hey, Leonard, but if you try to cut it all out all at once, you're going to give in.
Hey, how are you?
It's going to be worse. So
I'm
cutting back.
For me, I got to tell you something, right? I thought about that too. I said it's very, very difficult when you're a carboholic. Carboholic? Is that a word? Yeah.
It is now. It is now.
You definitely can be addicted to carbohydrates.
Well, I am.
Sure.
I'll guarantee you that.
I've never met a carb that I didn't like. Leonard Len.
Well, apparently you are too.
I know I am. I'm just trying to cut back. Now,
Yeah.
hopefully I'll cut it out almost completely, but I love carbohydrates.
So it was so surprising those first few days that I lost weight so damn fast. And then as soon as I walked by that Pizza Hut, my whole diet was destroyed by the Pizza Hut sign.
Well, that's the thing about doing low carb.
Yeah.
If you fall off it, you can get right back on it.
And that's what I'm going to be doing today.
Yeah,
Today
it's not like you just give up and throw it all away because it's done.
Right.
I mean,
good point.
I'm very strong. Yes, I'm very strong carnivore diet. That's
what I want to do. I want to do strong carnivore. I want to eat meat, and the reason why is because I like saying eat meat. The second reason is because of the proteins. The proteins make it so that you're not so hungry so often.
Right, and it's okay and it's okay to eat high fat. Yeah,
it's okay to eat high fat. All that stuff about clogs your arteries and all that. It probably
all that goes back to Ansel Keys back in the 60s.
Yeah,
and he had this crazy study. He called it 21 country study, and they put the chart up. And it looked like you shot it with a shotgun, a bird shot. It was scattered all over the place. He picked 7 countries that were right on the line where he wanted to have people that had heart disease that ate meat. He didn't bother to find out the fact that they smoked, they were stone cold alcoholics, drug abusers, everything, all the other stuff. Diabetes,
I see.
That didn't count. All he wanted to know is if they had heart disease.
It's so interesting, that you have one study, that says don't eat eggs, and if you eat eggs, don't eat the yolk, and then another one saying you're a fool if you don't eat the yolks.
Well, yeah, the thing about the eggs, that's good, Larry. The thing about the eggs is you should eat the whole egg, yolk and all, because that's where all of your good minerals and vitamins and everything is.
You're not yoking with me, are you? Are you? Leonard,
I would not yoke with you, Dan.
I'm going to tell you, Leonard, I got to take it back. I don't eat the whole egg.
I can't see the whites of your lion eyes, Leonard.
There are those people who say you should grind that shell up and eat it. I don't eat it.
Leonard's the most exciting guy that I've ever met. I got 1,000,000 of them.
I know.
Keep them.
Yeah, keep them, exactly. All right. I'm glad you're here. All right, now what was the other day? Okay, so we're starting. Nitband is in the house and
Hey, that
Voyager.
man.
Hey, Nitman, Voyagers, how are you?
Nitband is on a voyage of life. Yes, Nitband is on a voyage. So he's home. He's home now in the Sacramento area. Now I'm not going to give you up that you live in the rich neighborhood of up there. I won't give you a Nitband. I won't give him your address. Okay. And did Nitband did he ever answer the question last time whether he met up and had romance when he was
I
in
don't think he ever answered.
Yeah, I don't think he ever
Do a
answered
little
either.
slow dance and have some romance.
He didn't even say, Dan, it's
And you
none
said
of
you
your
can't sing,
business,
Larry.
Dan. It's none of your
I can't
business.
sing.
That sure sounded like you were singing.
All right.
Well, I
have
didn't
a
say I don't
picture.
sing. I said I can't sing. I'm no
Hey.
good at it.
You know what? You know what I just remembered? Nitband and Man Mini and I took a picture together. We took a selfie in front of the Dunkin' Donuts in Terminal 21 Mall in Pattaya, Thailand. And I am going to make that a thumbnail and post it. See that?
Yeah,
See that,
there you
Nitband?
go.
I'm going to post it for my next live. Okay. Guys, I love talking about the fat and the weight loss and all that. Especially with but the topic today, right? The topic today is, and I wonder if Hey Joe is still with us. Okay, because I want to ask a question. So if you say "Hey you" in the Philippines or "Hey," that is a derogatory word, and I'm trying to figure out why it is because I keep getting in trouble because I use "Hey sailor" all the time. Hey sailor.
That's quite derogatory.
Yeah, but why is it derogatory for a Westerner to use the term "hey," but it's not for a Filipino to say "Hey Joe"? See, that's the question I have. Someone has to help me out.
I told you, you told yourself the right answer. The Westerner would go, um, hey, sailor. They would go, hey, sailor. And the sailor would go, hey, darling. So,
Yeah.
So if you're going, hey, to them, you might be referring back to the old, hey, sailor days. I don't know, but I'm just guessing.
That's
All right.
a
So
good guess I had.
Man Mini has to keep correcting me. And I mean, I've done it all over the place. I've done it while a security officer was opening the door. I said, "Hey, thank you," and that's a very confusing thing, right? Man Mini is falling behind me. He said, "No, he doesn't mean. No, he's a, you know." So the whole thing is, and I talked to a friend of mine from Norway, Hans from Hans and Franz fame, Hans, if you're watching, and so Hans told me, no, if you say that even in Norway, somebody's gonna punch you out. You can't say that in Norway.
Well, I've heard
Somebody
there's
will
actually I've heard there's actually laws in the Philippines where if you say something like that or overtly say hello to a girl, she can report you and get your butt arrested.
Oops.
Now I don't
Oops.
know
I
100%
guess
that's true.
I guess I've broken the law several times since I've been here.
Yeah, I
I
don't
know I would have broke it.
yeah, me too. Now that I've
It's
heard that,
easy.
I mean,
It's
makes it
very
hard to meet somebody.
it's very easy to meet people here. Meet young ladies, by the way. Let's see. I think every young lady I've been running into, I've been taking her picture. Let's see if I have. I'm not sure that I have photos or not. I have to look to see if I have any photos. For example, I don't know if you're going to be able to see because this is my phone. But for example, I just want to give you one example.
I can see it.
Okay.
Can you guys see this picture?
Yep.
I can, but I got a 20.
Okay, so
27-inch monitor.
she works in the mall in Ayala, I think it was, and she works in one of those kiosks. And we
Yeah.
stopped in there because we wanted to buy some pet supplies. So they had what we were looking for in there, and I said, "Are you single and ready to mingle?" And she says, "Well, yes, sir, I am. Is it okay if I take your photograph and then I'll share it with my friends?" And she said, "Sure, you can." And can I get your cell phone number? Oh, sure. Here's your cell phone number. So I mean, that was the entire the entire communication.
Wow.
And so her name is Josie, 24 years old. 24 years old, Josie, and let's see, I think she is 4'1" or 4'2" by my estimation.
Man, that's short.
Yeah.
I dated a girl 4'10", but I've never dated one that short.
Yeah, I think 4'9" is the shortest I've ever dated.
Well, I dated a girl in San Diego. She was 4'10".
Yeah.
Well, she's cute as a bug's ear, as they say.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
So was
Speaking
honey.
of you, guys, have you ever accidentally cut your earlobe when the razor gets out of control, and then all of a
I
sudden,
hate to admit it, but yeah, I have once or twice.
yeah,
I've done it
isn't
with-
that so weird? Dan, you don't have much hair up there. This is what somebody told me, right? Dan, how'd you do that? I said, well, I got a mosquito bite. And they go, no, that doesn't look like a mosquito bite.
No, it's
That
pretty
is-
obvious. It's a slice, you know.
Yeah, yeah. And so it's got, I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's scabbing up. And I don't want to touch it because you want it to heal. Because right there, if you try and take the scab off of it, it bleeds again.
Yeah, and it can bleed a lot sometimes.
Yeah, it could bleed a lot. You bleed like a stuck pig, and then you have to explain to people, how is it you cut yourself there, and then you go, my razor got out of control.
He's ready
Then
to
they
have
just-
Trying to
mine
remove the hair from my ears.
Yeah, they just look
Yeah.
at you like, oh, poor senile old man.
Wow. I went and got my hair cut today.
All right,
Hey,
young
all right.
ladies, listen,
I
this is
need
just
to- I
proof.
need to get mine cut one of these days too.
This is proof nobody is listening to us. Who is going to comment on the use of the word hey in here? Who is willing to be brave enough to comment, other than us, about the use of the word hey? So my wife is training me, and she says, okay, so one thing you can do so you don't use that word anymore is you could use the word friend. If you can train yourself to say friend before you say anything else, it has to be ingrained in your subconscious mind. So I said, can I practice on you? Of course, friend. She says, of course, friend. Yeah. And so, friend, how are you today? Friend, thank you so much. So she says, replace the use of the word hey with the use of the word friend. So I'm asking people in the chat, is the use of the word hey really a derogatory term? And my wife is saying it's like calling a dog. The worst thing you can do is go, hey, you, come over here. And then it's like calling a dog, she says.
Can you go, hey, friend? Or is it just the word hey itself? Or hey,
I'm trying
you?
to find out from
I would
people in
think
the
Maurice
chat.
could answer that.
Yeah, can Larice answer it? Hey, Peter
Oh,
of
yeah.
Barbaria from the Outback is here. Hello, Peter. Thanks for coming.
Hey, Peter, how are you, man?
Hey, Peter, do you chop your own wood? I'm just curious. Have you seen any kangaroos lately? What other kind of animals do you have out there? And what happens, how do you know if a mom kangaroo has a baby in her pouch? I always wondered about that. And then have you ever met, before he passed away, did you ever meet Steve, what's his name? The Outback dude.
Oh, Alex,
You were-
Crocodile Hunter?
Yeah,
Irwin.
the one that
Steve
took us.
Irwin.
Yeah, Steve Irwin. Did you ever know him prior to him taking a stingray barb to the heart? That'll ruin your day every time you take a stingray barb to the heart. I don't know why anybody would want to swim with stingrays, and then you get a what is that? Oh, and you look down, that's a stingray barb to the heart. Hey, he would have lived had they cut the barb off and they left it in there instead of trying to remove it. Someone said he would not have bled out, but they tried to pull that barb out, and it just pumped blood all over the place.
That's
The way you
probably
treat
true.
that, you're supposed to
makes
cut
sense.
the barb. You cut the barb off, and transport to your nearest emergency room.
Well, that makes sense because years ago, my uncle was on ski patrol at the ski resort back home, and someone had fallen and stabbed their ski pole in their heart. Now, it wasn't him that did it, but he saw it. And another
Billy!
ski patrol guy
Brother from a different
pulled the ski
mother.
pole out and stuck
Uh-huh.
his finger in, and they transported him that way.
They stuck something back in then. Okay.
Yeah,
Now,
they plugged the finger back in.
By the way, Dan, Peter
Yeah.
answered your question. He goes, yes. Or, yep, I chopped wood. Steve Irwin in 1975. The head
Wow.
out of the pouch is normal for Joey's. Joey's are kangaroos.
Wow. You know, they say his son is a spitting image of him, and he's every bit as much of an adventurer that Steve Irwin was.
They say
He's
his
gonna
daughter
be
is
famous.
too.
His son's going to be famous.
They say
That's
his
amazing
daughter's
the way
very
that
famous.
works. That is amazing. No one wants to answer my question. Did I miss it in the chat, or has somebody answered
I
my
haven't
question?
seen it.
I haven't
The
seen it.
use of the word "hey." It goes to show you no one's listening to me. They're in the BG. You guys that are in the BG, if you want to win 100 pesos for a donut and cup of coffee, then I want you to put emoji of a donut and a cup of coffee in the chat right
Maurice
now.
has it.
Who has it? Who has
Maurice.
it?
Maurice
Larice.
did it.
You know
Maurice
she
did it.
will.
Yeah, Larice. I know Larice.
He's
Larice.
got it up for Peter.
Listen, here's something I've learned about Larice. She has game. There's no question about it.
Yep.
Yeah, Larice has game. I like Larice a lot.
Yep. She's
And
cool.
Maurice has
lady.
got a cup of coffee and 2 donuts just put up.
Did she really?
Yep. There it is.
There it is.
And she did it again.
Well, see, when I get over there, I when I get over the Philippines, I already promised her the coffee was on me.
Hey, Jack is here in the chat. All right, so now
Hey, Jack.
beer is
Hey,
not
Jack.
good for a low carb diet unless it's low
No.
carb beer. But I'll tell you what is.
Even that
Well, guess what is, Leonard?
vodka.
Yes. What else? Vodka's one.
It's the only thing I can think of.
Brandy.
Oh well, yeah,
Right.
maybe.
Brandy wine has 0 carbs.
Yeah, when I drink, I drink chopping vodka, which is a potato vodka.
Right. Oh, huh?
Huh?
Potato.
That's what vodka is supposed to be made out of.
Oh, I
Nowadays,
didn't know.
nowadays they make vodka out of everything. They got a place over here called Tito's, and they make it with wheat, I think, and it's nasty, man. If you've
Hey,
ever
well-
had a good vodka, you'll never drink that crap.
Well, guess what? Okay, so tell you what I like to have, right? I like to have in a short glass with ice, Emperador brandy, fill it up halfway, right? And then I don't know why, but it's delicious. But my wife says, man, that is rot. She says that's gut rot.
Hey, Eddie.
Hey, Eddie.
Yeah, man.
Eddie is here.
Hi, honey.
Hey, Joyce.
Eddie,
You guys waiting?
Hey.
Are you on the boat or are you waiting on the plane?
No,
Going back home.
we're at the airport waiting.
Okay.
oh, no.
Ready to go home.
Oh,
We're going home.
Going back
Hey.
home.
Eddie, has the
And
depression
remember, I want to
started?
see those videos shortly after you get home, Joyce.
I
I'm looking forward
will.
to
Kuya Larry, I will.
'em. All right.
What's that, Dan?
Has the question I have for you is have either one of you or your wife, are you suffering from the withdrawal already?
No. What withdrawal are you speaking
In
of?
the bank? ATM?
No.
The depression. I'm talking about the depression. I'm talking about,
Oh,
are you crying? Are you crying yet because you have to leave the
Because you're
Philippines?
leaving.
Yeah.
no, we're excited to go home.
You're excited to get the heck out, huh?
Yeah.
You know that they have like triple security here,
Oh yeah.
which is different than what before. Right at the gate, there's another checkpoint here.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah,
No
it's a
kidding.
U.S. policy now. Any U.S. flights?
Are you in Manila?
Yep.
Okay.
Airport.
Terminal 1.
Okay, I have a question for you. Culture shock. What kind of culture shock?
Time. Our
you-
sleeping time.
Yeah,
Well,
I think
I thought you were
getting
going
used to my sleeping time here. Is that what you're talking about? Our
Culture
time
shock.
here?
Yeah. Traffic.
Yeah, I
Oh,
got tired of traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I don't know. I'm doing things to work on the house, you know, and I have to go certain times to the hardware store. It's quite difficult. Or if we're going to go meet some friends, you know, we went to go meet some friends, and not everybody shows up at once, and you're waiting for a long time.
Yeah. No, I
Well,
thought
maybe
you weren't
Joyce
going.
Maybe
I thought you
Joyce
weren't
could answer our
going
question.
to the Phils until April.
No, March 6th. March 6th.
Oh, okay. I got mixed up on that.
And of
Hey.
course, the Philippines Airlines messed
Hey,
up our.
we're getting feedback from someone's phone.
No, I think it's just a intercom.
It's intercom. Are you sure? Oh, we're
Yeah.
getting.
They're at the
Yeah, I'll
airport.
probably
It's
hear
the
it now.
intercom.
Oh, okay. All right. Thanks.
So we've got quite a few people. We met some people here that are stranded here. They have to take an early flight from California. They're trying to get back home as well. They're leaving at 10 o'clock flight. They got rerouted. Philippine Airlines got a long time.
Are you flying Philippine Airlines?
And you know, the only thing they gave us for, you know, compensation was $8 meal and some travel. I paid for a straight full flight, and so it'd be not Philippine Airlines. Here. Hello.
All right. Let's see. I didn't hear a word anybody is saying, but
Yeah, it broke up real bad.
yeah, I didn't hear a word
Is that-
anyone was saying. But hey, something's going on in the comment section though. Marvin's here. Hey, but something about somebody dying. Tim, what was that about? Did anybody catch that in the chat?
No.
No, I didn't.
Man, I missed something here. When I looked over there, I saw some conversation going on with Tim about somebody passing away.
Oh, Tim was talking about, I didn't catch that. Tim was talking about Steve Irwin had 50 holes from the stingray in his body.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Oh wow, I
That's a lot.
only know the one.
That's a lot of holes that have to be plugged.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what that Crystal was saying. That was a lot of holes.
Yeah.
Had been painful. And everybody that Joyce to Blessed TV, that is Ed's wife. She has a channel. I couldn't put up the. I'll tell you in a minute. I couldn't put up the link to
What's
it,
your?
but that's the channel's name.
Oh, okay. He's throwing in your channel.
So I just want to let everybody's going. Eddie's wife. Eddie's wife is Joyce, and that's her channel. And they live in New Mexico. And Joyce is from the Philippines. They're going back home to New Mexico.
Yeah.
So anyway, nothing, whatever inconveniences, Eddie, that you're going through is nothing like we had to go through on January 1st. Let me tell you.
When the
That's
when
a
the
bad
airport
day
went
to
out,
fly.
Yeah.
when you lost power.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was the
that's
most
a bad day to
miserable
fly
experience
anyhow.
of my entire life.
Well, one thing's good is we got to go into the one of the lounges here. They had a great lounge here. Uh, Very good food. So we at least got to stay there a couple hours. You got to get here. They always say 4 hours before. Here in the Philippines, and so the lounge was nice to be able to go sit and relax and eat.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I've been in that. Which lounge were you in? Which lounge were you in? Philippine Airlines lounge?
No, it was what was the lounge called?
Maharba.
Maharba, something like that. Mahab.
Upstairs?
No,
Upstairs, Eddie?
I don't think we're upstairs.
No, that was the lounge upstairs.
I don't think so. I don't remember going upstairs.
Hmm.
We're on the same level. They have that same lounge in pretty much Terminal 3 as well, and different floors.
I see.
Yeah, because I saw it on the map.
Well, that sounds nice.
Yeah. Anytime that I know I'm going to lay over for a little bit. I got to get a lounge because it's just much more convenient, I think.
Yeah.
And I
yeah.
take advantage of one of my credit cards has it. That's why one of my credit cards has it. It works out good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say
Well, listen,
now,
we're getting ready to board, you guys. So I decided to hop in and wish us
All
well
right,
going
Edie,
on.
thanks for
have a
thanks for
safe
checking
flight.
in.
We'll
We
talk to you
appreciate it.
guys after you get back.
Have a,
See you when you
have a
get
safe
home.
flight.
All right,
And,
thank you guys.
Bye, Joyce.
Bye bye.
Say bye.
Have fun, Eddie.
Bye,
Bye,
everyone.
Bye bye.
Have fun, Eddie. Take care, man. Now, talking about traveling, back before 9/11, I always liked it because you could go to the airport with somebody and actually go in and sit at with them while they were waiting on
Right.
the plane.
Right.
There wasn't none of this. Well, you could only go so far, then you couldn't go any farther. Back before
Yeah.
9/11, you could go all the way with them. You could go right to the terminal with them back then. That was a much more pleasant way to travel back in those days. They can go in, you can sit down, have something to eat. If you were old enough, get a drink while you're waiting, and they could sit there and wait with you. Now you go in, they gotta turn around and go back, and then unless you're traveling with somebody, you have to go sit down by yourself and kill time. Now,
I like paying
Go
for
ahead.
the lounges. I like paying extra for the lounges. I mean, I don't like paying for the lounges, but I mean, I like
you like the
Good
lounges. I
lounges
understand.
have
I like
showers.
the lounges. Yeah.
I
Do they
would
have
too.
showers in them too?
I don't know. Dan, do they have showers in them?
Yeah.
I know
Yeah,
that
I
some of the
had heard
airports have
that.
it.
You have
Is
to.
this-
Sometimes you have to take a number though to get in the shower.
I imagine.
Well, if you've traveled 10, 12 hours and you got a layover, it might be worth waiting to get in that shower and take a shower and
Yeah.
get cleaned up. Refresh
Yeah,
That's
that's
what I
yourself.
was
true.
thinking. Because I had heard about somebody saying they were using showers and stuff, or recommended doing that.
I know
So-
one of the vloggers that he went through Korea, and the Korean national airport there had showers. They had a place where you can go lay down and take a nap.
Yeah.
They had all. I guess they even had short-term rentals where you could rent like a little cubicle, basically, to lay down and sleep.
Yeah.
Almost like one of those tube-like things. Almost, they're very small, from my understanding.
Yeah.
But-
Well, of course, that makes sense that they would be. But
Yeah,
that'd be
it's
pretty
in
cool.
the airport, but yeah, like I said, it depends on how long your layover is.
Well, yeah. Yeah, if you're on one of those that's an 8 or 9 hour layover, you might as well get a nap.
Yeah.
Hey, did you guys hear that Philippine Airlines is thinking about placing a big order for Airbus 350s.
I did not hear that.
Yeah, so I wonder why they're moving away from the Boeing 777 for those long
I
distance
don't know.
flights. You know, they're talking about it. I bet you they
Did-
don't do it. I bet you as soon as Boeing catches wind of that, they're going to move right in there and try and negotiate a deal.
Yeah.
Oh, they
Well,
will.
didn't Boeing just come out with a 787?
I don't know. I don't know much about.
Seemed like I'd heard that, but
But the reason why I'm bringing that up again is because I'm kind of thinking that we're entering a new era in air travel. They're going to be bumping up the prices, but they're also going to be bumping up the quality of service.
Well,
Well, let's
one
hope
of the
so.
reasons one of the reasons why the prices are so high right now is because the big disaster worldwide for 2 years. They laid off so many people. It takes a while to get those people hard back and get the planes
and
back
trained
in
and
service.
everything, right?
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why, especially at first, there were just too few flights and everybody wanted to take them. Jack the prices way up. Once
Yep.
travel becomes more normalized, and I don't think it'll ever be back to what it was before, but once it becomes more normalized, prices will drop.
Right.
Everybody knows I got to stay here for at least. Well, I promised a friend I wouldn't leave till their daughter graduated, so that's 3 years. But hey, that's going to take me 3 years to save up, to get some bills paid off, and save up some money anyway. That was no
Right.
big deal.
Yeah.
I'll probably be
Hey,
5 years
thank you,
before I do.
everybody. Thank you, everybody, for coming today to the live. So it looks like maybe Pacquiao Mertz is live. Hey, you know what weird thing happened, you guys? Pacquiao Mertz. Okay, Mertz. A guy was jogging down in Leyte, but while we were headed over here, we were headed over to here, headed for the pier in Leyte to head over here on one of the overnight ferries. So I kept saying Lapu Lapu, but we didn't bring the Lapu Lapu ferry over. It turned out to be the Rosalinda, I think it's called. They have a couple of ships that they rotate in and out of Bye Bye City. Anyway, the ferry ride overnight was very uneventful, but on the main road there, on our way over to the pier, we see this guy and he's jogging. He's jogging like he's working out. And he's wearing his sweats and everything like that. And the dude looked exactly like Manny Pacquiao. I'm not kidding you. I got a picture of him. I probably will post it later and somewhere. But the whole thing is I don't think Manny Pacquiao was here, and there'd be no reason for Manny to be on the island of Leyte at all. He don't hang out here. He hangs out in Davao. He has a house in Pasadena, California, or San Marino. He has one in Las Vegas, I understand. Wherever he fights, is where he has a house. And now he's doing exhibition fighting, but there's talk they're going to call him out of retirement. That he's interested in getting back and boxing some matches. Like this one that they're talking about that's going to happen where is it going to happen? Abu Dhabi or Saudi Arabia or somewhere in the Middle East. They're setting him up for a licensed match. I don't know, man, but there was no entourage following him, and so I figure it wasn't him, but it was a guy that looked almost like a spitting image of him. But I thought it was kind of fun. Even Man Mini said so. Man, that looked like Manny Pacquiao. There's no way he would be here on the island of Leyte. No way. Especially in a little town like Bye Bye City, Leyte. It's funny, but it looked like him. All right, so no one wants to talk about the subject matter at hand, I guess, except for us. I guess we aren't even interested in talking about it. So let's forget about that. Let's go back to fat talk. Because you know why this is important? Because as I've been telling people, everywhere I look, I see Filipinos are
Bye, Tim. Take care, man.
Where? What happened? Who's leaving?
Tim says it's time for me to go now.
Okay, Tim. See you later. All right. So
Have a good one, Tim.
let's talk about the losing weight thing. Now, by the way, Tim isn't overweight. Tim could
No.
stand to gain a few pounds, as a matter of fact.
Him and Leonard are nowhere near overweight.
Yeah, Leonard. I don't know how much you weighing right now.
About 155.
Holy smokes!
Oh, I'm tiny.
Yeah, you
My
are.
best weight, I was about 215.
Well, how much did you weigh in high school, might I ask?
About 180, 170, something like that.
Wow, you see, I was a skinny kid in high school. You know, I ran
I was.
cross
Yeah,
country.
I played football, so you know, you had to. Well, you could be skinny, but it's better if you weren't.
Yeah,
Well,
but
it depends on your position. You didn't want to
Yeah.
be skinny and be on the line,
No,
or a linebacker.
no.
You know,
I
or a running back.
was a wide receiver in the corner.
Wow.
Those two positions could be skinny.
Yeah,
I had my cousin George, the one's my age, played wide receiver, and he was always thin. You know,
Tim says maybe Pac-Man wanted to get your autograph.
maybe so.
It was funny. I caught. I guess I did video. I guess I was doing video. I had the video running when he ran by, and I turned over and I looked over at Man Mini. I said, "Was that Manny Pacquiao?" And she goes, "It sure looks like him." You know?
Somebody did a vlog and they talked to a guy that it was a Manny Pacquiao lookalike, but he let everybody know he was just a lookalike. He was, but I guess he did a lot of shows or whatever appearances, but everybody knew he was just a lookalike.
Friend that years ago, Juliet, she was in a karaoke bar. I think in because this is in the days where his wife would allow him to sing in these karaoke bars, right? So they ran into him in Pasadena many years ago, right, Juliet? And they took a picture together, and so it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool that they randomly ran into him in a karaoke bar in Pasadena, California.
Yeah, that would be cool.
That's pretty cool.
Hello,
Hello, my women. I
My
cannot say
woman's here.
Yeah, I cannot
I'm
say I've
a-
ever run into any singers in the
Uh-huh.
bars, but I've run into Larry Bird, the basketball player.
Oh,
Kevin
that's
McHale,
cool.
Robert Parrish. I've also run into Gallagher, the comedian, and all of the same bar that I used to go to in my hometown. Now, Larry didn't surprise me because Larry owned a hotel in my hometown called the Boston Connection. Now, everybody knows I'm from Indiana, so it was in Terre Haute, Indiana, where he played his college ball at. But he'd come back every summer during the off season, and when he was back, he'd stop into this bar that I went into. And the thing about my hometown, everybody loved Larry, but when he was in the bar drinking, we did not ask him for an autograph. But to talk to him, what you do is you buy a beer and walk over and give it to him and stand there and talk with him for a little bit. And we did the same thing because he'd come back, like I said, Kevin McHale, Robert Parrish, Kim Roby, and a couple others. They'd be with him if they came back to Terre Haute with him. And so
I think we're gonna give Every Man Repeats a Story a jacket today.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of NBA superstars, do you guys know Peja Stojakovic,
I heard of him, but I don't know him.
Sacramento Kings? So check this out. This is a fun story. So I'm in a place called Fair Oaks, California, and I'm going through the 99-cent checkout line. I'm seeing this guy, 7 foot forever, and or I don't know how tall he is. And I guess his manager was with him, right? One of the coaches, and they were picking up some stuff from the 99-cent store because they were putting on a basketball, a thing, community service kind of thing. What do they call it? Basketball
Clinic.
He was going to be there putting on a basketball clinic, And so I'm right behind him. I'm standing right behind him in the line for checkout. And so I was like looking up. I was looking up at him and said, "Hey," and he looks down. See the word "hey" again, and then he looks down at me and he says, "What's going on down there?" I said, "Just wanted to say, don't waste that height." And he turns around, he looks at me, and he smiles. He says, "I don't believe I have." And he starts laughing, and his manager's laughing, and they check out and they go on their way. So that's my only NBA superstar Sacramento Kings story that I have.
Oh,
I think Peja coaches somewhere. I think he was an assistant coach somewhere, maybe even at the Kings. I'm not sure.
yeah. When I was in Phoenix, I met pretty much all of the Suns and half of the opposing players. And I was there when the All-Star game was played there. I
Yeah.
met Willis Reed, JoJo White, Artis Gilmore. I mean, I met a bunch of those guys.
That'd be fun. It really would be.
Knit Band, you know what 99-cent store I'm talking about there on, is it Fair Oaks Boulevard? Nah, maybe it's Sunrise and Hazel, something like that. There's a 99-cent store. I don't know. Anyway, somewhere around there. So anyway, Every Man Repeats the Stories in the house, and he chimed in saying that he was a linebacker. What did he say he was?
He said he was a tight end, and he also played tailback.
Oh yeah, and now he's the CEO of a cruise liner company, I guess.
He was a tight end for the Packers and a tailback for the Browns.
Right. And Beth Beltran, Beth is in the house. Hi, Beth.
She's been here for a little bit.
Yeah, she has.
I missed it. I meant to say I saw it. Joyce is here. Bless TV. Joyce is online. She's watching.
No. She came in with
Yeah.
Eddie. That's Eddie's wife.
Yeah, that's Eddie's wife.
I
so
put her.
Did she put her link?
No. She wasn't on her cell phone. She was on Eddie's. So I put her name in so people could, because they were going, "Hi, Mrs. Eddie," or "Ma'am Eddie," So I put her channel name in. So if anybody wants to check out her channel, they can put it. You can do a lookup. Joyce Blessing TV. You're gonna
Joyce Bless TV, and so you could follow her.
And she's gonna be
Is
posting.
Is it set up so all you have to do is tap on their thumbnail, and it'll bring you to their.
I don't know because I put it in. She didn't. It says go to channel. Let me see.
Yeah.
Yes, if you tap on it, if you're a monitor, if you tap on that, it will take you to her channel. So that will work. I just checked it.
That's great.
Yeah, I'm not a moderator, so I can't do that.
Where are you? Why aren't you a moderator? Where are you?
Put your name
I
in
don't know.
there.
I thought,
Leonard.
oh yeah, I am.
Send me a
I am.
message
I am.
right
I'm
now.
sorry.
Send me a message right now.
He said he is. He was.
No, Dan, I checked again and I am. It must have been somebody else's stream
All
I was
right.
looking at and I couldn't.
I'm not a moderator in all the streams I go in, but that's
All right,
fine.
Wilma, I missed, so we'll moderate her. We'll give her a jacket so she's not cold in here. And who's here? Richie.
Well, I'll
My
tell you,
wife
Dan, the
makes
jacket isn't doing me a bit of good. I'm cold.
I'm not. I'm hot. I'm where I got a fan blowing on me.
Yeah.
And Manilau Liz is here.
Yeah, she's here. You also got a couple others that don't have jackets. Hang on, I'll tell you who they are.
She sent
We
us
got
a shout out.
Rochelle. Now let me do it this other way. We got a Rochelle R.Y. I want to say L.
Is that I made a moderator already? I saw that. I caught that one.
All right, then you got Mal Wilma 2 and 3 plus Mal Wilma.
I got 2. I'm not sure if I got 3 or not. Voyager Family Blog I got. Let's see.
You said you added Mona Liz already. But yeah,
Yeah.
there's, like I said, there's Mall Wilma 2 and 3 plus Mall Wilma.
And Joyce.
And Joyce, but can you make her a moderator without her?
I just did.
Okay. Because Eddie's already a moderator, right?
I think so.
Well,
See, we got Maloma 2 and Maloma 3.
3 and Maloma. Maloma. There's 3 of them. The original doesn't use a number.
All right. Well, anyway,
Is that
We'll
all the
see
same
if-
person?
yeah,
I
we'll
don't-
see if they show up again. I think those are Ninja. They might be. Maloma has a couple of Ninja YouTube channels. Okay, so where were we?
I
Oh
just
yeah,
got this one.
so okay, so Larry, you said you want to. So do you want me to do a video showing? I guess I said I was going to do one that shows me getting on the scale.
It's up to you. I did it.
Yeah, but I
As a
mean,
way of-
the challenge is a challenge, bro. You know, so
Yep.
Well, like I said, I put mine up today. You can check to see how I did it.
yeah.
And you can either copy it or do it a different way. But I showed what I was going to be wearing when I got on the scale. So there was no hat because I'm not wearing a hat to get on the scale. My glasses are on because I got to be able to see what I'm doing.
It does work.
And
better.
I was wearing a shirt and my cargo pants and a pair of walking tennis shoes. And I had my cell phone in my hand, so that would count. But I put my billfold. Was not wearing my billfold. I had that put up in the locker already.
So how much poundage have you lost so far?
I just put the weight up. I'm 309.
Oh, okay.
This is D-Day.
No, yesterday was D-Day.
Yesterday was D-Day. Yeah.
So I'll weigh myself again next Monday.
Yeah. I wouldn't do it any sooner than a week.
I'm not doing
A
it
week at
every
a
day.
time? Are you serious? Once a week?
Yeah.
Well, how
If
often
you do it
wanna
every
do it?
day,
Once
you
a
can
month?
discourage yourself.
Yeah, because you're going to go up and down.
Yep.
And try to do it around the same. Now I'm going to do it earlier next week because I'm going to my sister's, so I'm going to do it before I take off. So I'll do it in the morning. When I did the video this time, it was in the afternoon, at probably around 2:30 in the afternoon. But I figure once a week or once every other week, something like that. And I'm going to post it each time that I do it, just so people can see what I'm doing. The last time I looked, that video got 124. And it's been a couple hours since I looked. 124 views and 7 comments. It's not bad. I've had a lot better, and I've had a lot worse. You know? So, but the 124 is not for me because I only have. I looked earlier today. I only have 475 followers. I'm not a big YouTuber. I'm not Dan-size YouTuber or
Right.
Daisy
Well, I have a
or
small little
Pinky
channel.
Gray.
What are
Or
you talking about? What are you talking about?
I said, you're a lot bigger YouTuber than I am. As far as you're over 1,000. I'm not even
That's-
halfway there yet.
Yeah, I think I have Sammy to thank for that. Sammy
Oh, I
and
believe it. Sammy's
Yes,
good.
Sam.
Filipina,
Sammy gives us a
Filipina
lot.
Raquel, and definitely everybody that's in here in the chat now that have offered
Yeah.
up their
That's
support,
what-
and
Uh,
they keep
Well, like
smacking that like button and hitting the.
Yeah, Dan's got 2,500.
Yeah, I just hit 2,500 just yesterday or day before.
Leonard's not. Yeah, you're right. Leonard, is not wearing a hat? He says we're
No.
all wearing hats, but you.
I guess I got to get a hat. The biggest
Right.
thing is
Some
though.
of the people,
I
I'll
need
tell you
more
what,
content.
there are people that have helped me that I rarely see in the comment section, but I'm not sure if they're lurking in the background or not, but I really appreciate their help. I mean, there are a couple of people that I so rarely get a chance to go into their videos and their channels these days, but they have never given up on me. You know, they're just there pushing it out, pushing it out.
Will you give me a hat?
Lynn Castro is one.
Well,
Daisy Lynn
I-
Castro, Sash Sai. I mean, Sash C. If you've never been in her channel,
Never been
Sash will show up. Pinky Gray,
Pinky.
Beth, Anime. Everyone that's in the chat, they push out my channel every single day, and I truly appreciate it because without their support, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. I mean, I have a feeling that, I mean, the way that things grow exponentially, you start figuring out that YouTube is a numbers game, and the more people that come online and share your channel, the more successful it will be. So I know Larry, I know absolutely that things are going to go your way because these folks here in the chat, we're sharing a lot of the same audience here. They just keep pushing it out and pushing it out. It's just a matter of numbers, you know.
Like I said,
Just a matter of numbers.
like I said, you know me. I don't get upset if I never make 1,000. I'm not gonna get upset as long as I enjoy.
You're
it.
going to make 1,000, buddy.
I'm
I'm
just
telling
saying, if
you.
I don't, that's fine.
You will,
Uh,
though.
Yeah.
But no, Leonard, what I'm showing you, as you can see all the holes in this hat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I got to get a different hat.
Yeah.
You know, well, no,
Yeah.
no, you know how I got the pre-cancer spots on my forehead.
Right.
Yeah.
This nothing stops the. I mean, look at that.
Yeah.
All that took places for the sun to come through. So I like
Oh,
this
that's-
hat.
Yeah. That's
So
another
I got to get
thing,
one that
Dan.
doesn't have quite as many. And they do have other hats similar, summer hats that don't
Yeah.
have this many holes. Matter
Right.
of fact, I stopped by a place today and looked at the hats. The ones I liked, they didn't have in my size. You know,
Yeah.
I take a 7 1/4. I'm not that big of a head, but I take a 7 1/4.
Yep.
They had 7 1/8, 7 1/2, 7 3/8. But those,
Yeah.
you know, they're either too small or too big. And
Yeah.
I'm not going to buy a hat that's too big. I mean, a 7 3/8. If I want to grow my hair longer, I could probably wear it.
Yeah.
But the chances are I'll shave all this off before I grow it much longer. You know,
Yeah.
I'm just so. But I want.
I like the idea of being bald. I don't know what's,
They got
you know,
where
I don't know about you guys, but
is there?
I'm losing my hair right down the middle. Like I'm going to get the classic thing
See
going
that?
on.
Something like
See,
this.
no, I mean, see
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
And I'm not, you know, I don't mind. I'm comfortable not having any hair at all up there.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's why I want a hat that's got some protection from the sun.
Right. Right.
'Cause,
Well, you know,
like I
Dan,
said,
that
don't want-
that
I don't
diet
wanna get-
we're eating,
that up here.
there is some evidence that it actually will help you not get sunburned.
What?
Yeah. I think it's the fats and the collagen and stuff that you get out of the meat that goes to your skin, which is basically collagen. And
Oh,
I'll tell you. Oh, go
I-
ahead.
I'm writing that down. I'm doing research on that. That's very interesting.
check Dr. Ken Berry.
Oh wait, man, Minnie wants to say hello.
Hey, Minnie,
Hey,
how are you?
hey, man, Minnie.
How
How you doing? I'm doing well.
Good, very good.
I
Hey,
got my hair cut today.
And Sir Laura.
yeah,
Lazy.
that's Leonard and Larry. Hey, hit her up on her Facebook page. She was probably over there working it for the last couple hours.
She's a friend of one of my Facebook pages.
Ah, okay. All right, so let's see. I'm gonna do research on this sunburn and the relationship with sunburn and eating meat.
Hey, hold up. Thank you, Crystal. I appreciate that. She goes, losing hair means overusing your brain. I didn't know I used mine. I didn't know I used mine. I was told you just outgrew the height of your hair. You're just outgrowing it.
Yeah.
Woo, that's fun. That's fun. Crystals is so funny.
Oh yeah.
But I've heard that from
Hey, Crystals is like that. By the way, in case you don't know, Crystals is like that all the time.
Oh yeah, she's got
Yeah,
a great
she
sense
is.
of humor.
Yeah, she's got a great sense of humor. She'll send stuff through the PM, and I'll just be cracking up.
Yep.
Her sense of humor is very, very close to westernized. Have you noticed that,
is.
Dan?
Yes,
Yeah.
I have
It
noticed
is,
that.
and I
I'm
really
wondering
appreciate
why.
that.
I
I'm
don't
wondering
know,
why.
but a lot of people in the Asian countries don't have our sense of humor. And a
Yeah,
lot of them
No, they
don't
get
understand
offended
it.
by stuff that we think's funny.
Yeah.
right. That's what
We
I'm
say
curious.
something we mean is funny, and they take it as serious.
Right.
It makes you think that she's been hanging around with too many foreigners lately, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's getting to know us.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
No, as
Yeah.
long as her husband don't get mad and beat
Yeah.
me up because I can't fight.
No, I can't
Anyway,
anymore.
the thing that's so interesting is
I'm too lazy, man. Come on.
this visit. It's
Well, my
becoming.
balance ain't what it used to be.
I don't know how to explain it other than to say that there's so many foreigners here in this part of town that I know it's not unusual to see. In the olden days when I first started coming to the Philippines, once you landed, you got a lot of stairs
Yes.
down the street. People would make really strange jokes, that I didn't understand when they'd see me walking down the street, especially if I had a young lady with me in tow, right? So,
Yeah.
like one time, a jeepney driver yells out out the window, says something like, "Go back home to your wife, foreigner." And I was like, what the hell? I'm going to go pull that guy out of his seat and beat him to a pulp, and then all of a sudden I just stopped. And then I was with a friend who tugged on me and said, no, that's just the Filipino sense of humor. But they don't really adapt to American sarcasm that well, I noticed.
No, that's what I said.
Yeah.
That's really a Western sense of humor is sarcasm.
Right. Sarcasm, yeah.
And
They really don't understand it, and I don't think that I should be the one to train them how to.
that's what,
It loses something in the translation.
it's like what I did the one short showing it snowing really hard, and I said, "Oh, I just love snow." I said, "I hope you know I'm friggin' lying,"
Yep.
because most Westerners would get "Oh yeah, I just really," the way I said it.
Exactly.
Because some people really do love snow, but they say it differently. "Oh man, I really love snow." And you go, "Man, I really love snow."
Hey, there's
a difference.
Takio Mertz joining us.
Hey, and I
Hey,
don't know if you
Bakio.
saw Des. She's here.
Des is here. Des, you have
Yeah.
such a cute daughter and a very nice husband. Also, you're lucky. And yeah, I like running into Des now and again. And Mel, where's Mel? Oh, that reminds me, guy. Oh
I
man,
haven't seen Mel.
Mel.
She's here. She was here earlier.
She needs
Was she?
load. Was she here early? Okay. Yeah, since you're here, I hope you're listening and not in the BJ. So in the BJ or the BG? That's called a Freudian slip. Hey,
Yes, it is.
guys, here's what I'd like to do. So April is my birthday month. If you can't tell that I'm an Aries, then something's wrong with you. But anyway, April's my birthday month, and so Des and Mel were doing a feeding program. They were doing a feeding program. So I don't
Here.
celebrate my birthday, and people think that it's strange, right? So people think
Well,
it's strange, but
and people think you're
Yeah.
strange, so
yeah, well, okay, good. That my popularity rating should go up then. But
Hey, trying to help.
yeah,
Whatever we can do to pump you up, not bring you down.
yeah. So I'll be getting with Des in order to celebrate my birthday month. What I'll be doing? Well, I'll be turning age 66. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and send them a message, Des and Mel, and see if someday in the month of April I could sponsor one of the feeding programs for the month of April, And you know, I like. Here's the whole thing. You know, I'm a fairly lazy person. You know, I don't really like.
I'm lazy. You're not.
Yeah, I don't really like doing any of the work. You know, I tend to throw money at things. You know, and so I plan on doing the same
It's a great
here.
fix.
Maybe throw some money out there to them if they let me know how much money Des and Mel need to put on a program, and then I'll go ahead and sponsor it for the month of April in celebration of my birthday. Oh, by the way, someone told me you're not supposed to put your actual real birth date up there on the Facebook page, and I think I did. So
I do. Mine's up there.
yeah, so I guess if you wanted to go to see how many times I've been married and divorced and how many bankruptcies I've had and all of it.
Not only do they need your birthday,
Yeah.
but they need your social security number. They need, because especially with
Social
somebody like me,
security
Larry
number.
Lee. Come on.
Right,
You know
right.
how many Larry Lees there are in the world? I
Mhm.
went to school with two others.
Yeah.
I had another kid. Without the middle, I've got the middle name, cuts it down. But my first,
Right.
second, and third grade year, there was a Larry Mark Lee, there was a Larry Lee Allen, and myself. And I'm not going to say my middle name, but my name's Larry Lee. So there was three of them. They go Larry, three of us answered. They went Lee, three of us would answer. If they went Mark, there were two or three other Marks in the class.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, all three of us was born in the same year in the same town. We grew up in the same town. I was probably
Yeah.
born in a different town than they were. I wasn't born in Terre Haute. So
So
go up
rewind
to
it.
Larry Lee, born in Terre Haute. You won't find me, people.
What do we have? How many more days left do we have in the month of March anyway?
Today is March 21st. Here in
Yeah,
the
10
States,
more
it'll be the
days.
22nd where you're at. So 9 more days for you
For
and
you,
10
9
more
more.
for us.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
And,
So that means 9 more days. That means only a couple more live streams before I'm tasked with picking a winner for the Dan's new channel name. And we're getting so close. We're getting so close to one that I like. Yeah, but so many people have been dancing around the same name, and so I fear there's going to be, if I choose it, there's going to be a conflict where people are going to say, "Oh, I came up with the name first." So I'm just trying to figure out what to do here.
I thought you were good. I thought what you were
There's
going to do.
There's only
Go back
going
to
to be
the first one mentioned.
Yeah, there's
You're
only going
gonna
to be
go back
one winner. You know, there's only going to be one winner for 5,000 pesos, and you still have a chance to win. You just have to put it in the comment section after this live stream becomes a video. And so people have been working very, very hard at coming up with channel names, and I truly appreciate the effort. I truly do. I really appreciate it.
All right, now Dan, I got to say something here.
Yeah.
Crystal says April Fool's Day turns to April Foods for Dan's
Yeah.
Day. Now, but what I really want to mention is, Crystal, my youngest sister's birthday is April 1st. So April Fool's Day.
no.
Now, my oldest sister's birthday is also in April, and hers is, I believe, the 17th. Maybe the 18th. I can't remember because what happened is I got an uncle, actually two uncles and my sister were born on the 16th, 17th, and 18th. Now, my Uncle Paul was the 16th. I can't remember if my sister Wanda or my Uncle Everett, and Paul and Everett were brothers, are the 18th and 17th. I think my sister was the 17th. I think she was born in between my two uncles, my mom's brothers. And they're the two brothers that can't pronounce their last name right the same. One pronounces it Ferran and one pronounces it Farron. And like I said, they're brothers.
Hey, by the way, I meant to mention.
Crystal says her son is also in April.
Oh, that's great. Well, then he must be a very difficult child to raise.
Hey, I'm Virgo the Virgin.
Oh,
Now, I'm also the year of the snake.
the year of the snake.
That
That's
might say a lot about you, Larry.
It really does. I was going to say that.
I'm just laying in the grass waiting for my chance.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
And Crystal says, Dan, yes, he is.
Yes, he is. Yeah. My mom, my mom told me the last time that we were together, about a year ago. So she was saying to me, you've led a most extraordinary life, and I think she's right about that. No one would have ever have guessed that it turned out the way that it did, and I was not anywhere near the most likely to succeed category. No way. I was the most likely to end up behind bars.
I raised a little hell myself.
Yeah,
But,
most
now,
likely.
now, you may not believe this, but when I was a kid, when I first met somebody, I was very bashful. I was not very talkative at all. But after I got to know people, then you couldn't shut me up.
Well, thanks
I
so
was
much.
a ham when the camera came out.
I was going to say, oh, Leonard. Yeah, that's right. Leonard, I was about ready to tell you. Okay, so now we're down. Man, Minnie and I, we've been here for a couple of days, and we haven't yet to contact anyone regarding apartment hunting. And that's for two reasons. One, I've kind of explained that I'm getting a little bit nervous now because I see a downturn in the market coming. And so if I see a downturn, I'm kind of hesitant about long-term commitments, in leases and things like that.
Yeah.
So I'm not too sure now. Now all of a sudden I got cold feet, because I got over it. I realized that, man, there's gonna be a downturn, but I'm not sure it's actually going to happen here because of all the transferring of troops here and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Because of the transfer of wealth, if you want to know the truth.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on in the world. But I do detect it. I detect it because of a couple of different reasons. When you go onto Airbnb, you start seeing discounts being offered. That's one sign that there's a dip.
Well, or they realized they were overpriced.
Well, I mean, if you're overpriced, there's a reason why you're realizing you're overpriced, and that's because you're only going to pay what the market will bear. You're only going to price your things out at whatever the market will bear.
Right.
So I'm hoping that if I do make the contact with your friend that you sent me, since we're only going to be here till Tuesday next week, that they will be able to provide some leads with short notice, because I think
it'd be better if she knew where exactly in town you want to be.
Right where we're at, which is near Changhua Hospital.
Near Changhua? Okay.
Yeah.
He's close to where Chris used to live.
Yeah, so we're talking about.
I don't know that.
We're
only a 10-minute walk to Changhua Hospital where we're at right now.
Down around Rodriguez, B and C was where Chris used to hang out at.
Right.
Rodriguez. So he's down in that area there.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So
well, like I say, I'm not familiar with Chris. I know you talk about him all the time.
Well, that's how Dan and I met, was through Chris.
Right. I never saw his channel, so.
It was unique. It was quite unique.
A lot of walking live streams.
Speaking of Larry, can I ask a question here?
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't believe while I was there on your channel, I didn't notice that Mac Daddy was hanging around. So did he come into the chat later?
No.
Is he?
I think he's upset because I said no more political talk.
Well, the whole thing
about I can think of because
well,
I can't think of any other reason.
Yeah, it got a little heated. He's messaged me a few times.
Oh, has he?
I think he's just giving it a hiatus, and he'll be back.
I hope
I'm not upset with him. I just don't want political talk because it's too heated.
No, but I don't. Here's the whole thing. I really, really like him. I think he just adds so much to to the discussions when he's on, and I really love talking to him about food.
Yeah.
So
He does add a lot,
yeah,
Yeah.
he does that a lot.
but we
The
Well,
political
I
thing,
will.
we
I'll
don't
tell you
need
what
to
I'll
get into
do.
politics.
leave it.
I'll
But-
message him and tell him that everybody wants him to come back.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'll tell
Just
you
no
what. Here's the whole
politics,
thing.
please.
Here's the whole thing. I need Mac Daddy in my life. I'm just going to tell you the truth. I need him in my life.
Filipino
I would
Raquel,
love-
hello.
I would love.
Hey,
I
Raquel,
would
how
love
are
it
you?
if he would even show up to my live streams now and again. Filipino Raquel is in the house. I got to tell you the truth. I really would love it because I could talk to him about all kind of stuff.
Yes.
Mostly it's going to be food related, but I mean,
Yeah.
he has such amazing insight in things. But here's how I feel about the whole political thing. I can chat as long as I'm competent in
Hey,
the
Brother Robert.
and which I realize that
Hey, Robert.
I'm not that great talking politics because I should know the history of certain events, and I'm ashamed that I don't know history of certain events when actually I should. Robert's in the house. But here's the whole thing. I never take the discussion of politics. I've never have taken it personally, whether you
Yeah,
agree
you
or
can't.
disagree with my beliefs.
You can't because everybody disagrees about it to some degree,
Right.
and
Well,
and everybody
like I said,
agrees about it to some degree. So
Like I said, it's not that I disagree with Ed or mad at Ed. It's just I don't think it's good for the channel.
yeah,
If we
But you
had a
can talk
channel,
politics here if you'd like. I have no problem with it. And by the way, I just want to point that out. Most people know that I'm politically I'm to the left, but I could be
I'm
very
to the right.
yeah, and I could be very conservative on certain issues. I mean, I was
Exactly.
I was a Rush Limbaugh fan when he was live. And by the way, in case you don't know it, I've met both Rush Limbaugh and Tom Sullivan at a friend's house in Sacramento before. So I just want to let you guys know that. And by the way, whether you take it any way you want, right? Rush Limbaugh and Tom Sullivan are two of the nicest guys that you'd ever want to meet and share a Budweiser with. I just want to lay that out there. So I could be conservative at times.
Rush is a little more conservative than me. Let me tell you that right now.
When it comes to things like things like banking and finances and things like that, you can get me into you can get me where I can't move on certain topics where it comes to money. So I'll tell you what, and that's going to be a tiny bit on the right side of the equation. But when it comes to then on both sides of my mouth, I can say that so there's certain social issues that we're facing that you just have to throw money at it and see what happens. And so I mean, that's where I'm at. So
That's understandable, Robert.
maybe I'm not beholden to any truth. Truth is, I'm a registered Democrat, but lately I've been thinking that, I'm probably more of a libertarian, and so that's where I'm at politically.
I'm going to tell you the truth. If they had a thing that I considered moderate, a political party that was moderate, a little bit on the left, a little bit on the right, they take it from both sides. That's the party I would be in. But
I mean, you have to really.
I'm in New York State, and the liberals here are real liberals, so I'm on the right.
Well, of course, they're in California. They're as far left as they could possibly be. But I would be, if I were far right, I'd be moving into a far right state. I got to be honest with you, Larry.
Well, I'm not far right though. I said,
I mean,
I was a Democrat in Indiana.
For most of my friends
Man,
that are far
I was a
left
Democrat in Indiana,
living in California. I mean, it's just very difficult for them.
I was a registered Democrat in Indiana.
Yeah.
I was
So,
registered as a Democrat.
I mean,
But
I don't
here
know why
they're
they're
too liberal.
hiding it. I have a good friend. Leo knows. Leo, if you're listening, hey, I have a really good friend that he couldn't be any further right than Rush Limbaugh was, and it's a very frustrating thing living in California in that political climate. There isn't a place that I know of on the planet that is as far left as California.
that's probably true.
Yeah, and I mean, hey,
All right, Peter, you'd rather just be left right out. All right.
I have to pay a huge tax bill this year, and I'm looking forward to it.
Like I said, I was raised a Republican.
Yeah.
I was in the Democratic Party. Later in life, I switched over. Because, like I said, I like local politics being more liberal than national politics.
Crystal's is cracking me up again, Peter Barbera, I wish you would have come up here, but you're out now. Okay. All right. It's time to wrap it up. Hey, folks, I've had a great, I don't know how it happens, but we have amazing live streams going on.
Yeah, we do.
I really enjoy.
We have fun.
Yeah, we have fun. And also, Larry, I got the same thing. It's so enjoyable coming to your live streams,
Well, I'm glad to have you. Like I told you the other day, he's
it's
welcome
so
anytime he wants.
It's like we got.
Well, that's why I come all the time,
Like I said,
When you're
something
Yeah.
happening. We got something happening.
It's fun. It's enjoyable.
Yeah,
It's entertaining.
it's really
Like I said,
it's really fun.
Ed can come up anytime he wants, and Eddie as well.
Absolutely. The visit by Eddie, I really appreciate. I mean, that was fun. It's fun. He's on his way back home. And by the way, I meant to tell Eddie. Eddie, my kid, I have one of my sons right now that's on a traveling nurse assignment in Santa Fe, not too far. That's only about probably 30, 45 minutes from where Eddie lives. So I have a as Eddie knows, and you guys may know, I have a daughter who lives in Albuquerque.
That's what I remember you telling Eddie that in the live stream.
And she hasn't talked to me in years. That's better than 20 years. Yeah. So maybe now that my son is in Santa Fe, I'm kind of hoping that they'll obviously meet, and hopefully he'll share a few of my thoughts on what I'd like to see happen. I'd like to at least hear from her, sometime along the way. And so she'll most likely now get the message, because I got Eddie was willing to do it. He was willing to deliver the message. Eddie's a good man, but I got my son now who's in Santa Fe, and so hopefully
and you and your son get along quite well.
Yeah, and he'll relay that message. I was happy to hear that he got an assignment in New Mexico, because he's got not only a sister, my daughter there, but he also has half siblings there in New Mexico. They're actually 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5. Let's see, he's from a family of 10, so there's like 4 or 5 siblings, 3 siblings, I guess, that are living in New Mexico now. So New Mexico must be something great must be happening there. But I mean, when I was there, the last time I visited, I wasn't impressed, but that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
No, Tim, I'm not an tax expert. I got to do my taxes yet.
Yeah.
But,
Tim,
I
would suggest doing it online with either TurboTax or Tax Act.
I do TurboTax is what I do.
By the way, I use Tax Act myself, Leonard.
That's what I use.
Yeah.
And Dan says they have great food in New Mexico, Dan.
Yes, they do, Nick, man. That's one thing I liked about New Mexico.
Yep.
All right, thanks. The donut winner. Okay, hands down, it's got to be Larice as the winner of the 100 pesos. Hands down. And so, Larice, I've already sent 100 pesos to your GCash account. Congratulations on being this week's winner. And you go out and enjoy a Krispy Kreme donut and Krispy Kreme. Yeah, that's her favorite. And a cup of coffee on me. I hope 100 pesos covers it. And Larry, why don't you take us out of this chat, and then we'll look forward to seeing everybody the next time around.
All right, Dan. Thanks a lot.
Take care, Leonard. Thank you so much for being here.
All right, everyone. Remember, be nice to each other.
Bye, everybody.
Hey, Mimi.
Hey, Minnie.
Just in time for my show. Turn it up. All right, everybody. Remember, be nice to each other. Take care of yourselves.
Thank
Stay
you.
safe and healthy.
Bye.
Plus, as always, try to have fun. Bye.
Take care. See everybody till later.
All right.
Bye bye.